And here we are. This is the Afrobeat called I Am Enakimio. And a big welcome to you and everyone who is able to join us tonight. Right now it's PM right here in Helsinki, Finland. And our guests will be coming on in a little while. Today we're having a really special guest with us. That's what we've been promoting. Her name is Blessing Enakimio, and her take is this. She is working on empowering women across Africa, helping them, teaching them, giving them the tools to build amazing wealth for themselves. Now, we know that across the globe, a lot of women, well, at least in the western part of the world, we know that a lot of women have started to find ways, really ingenious, really smart ways to go about running their own businesses. They have better leeway. They have greater access to a lot of opportunities, at least across the West. But in Africa, it's a totally different situation. The women tend to need to struggle more. They tend to have to face so many different kinds of challenges that kind of stops them and hinders their growth. And a lot of them tend to depend on men, not only in the business sector, not only in social services, not only in healthcare, also in business, in education, especially. It's 2021, and you would think that a lot of African countries, a lot of people now realize the need to make women a very, very important, very key part of the economy, a very key part in the development of their countries. But unfortunately, that is not happening the way that the world wants it to go. That is not happening the way that a lot of women want it to go. Now, when you look at the African history, when you think about how Africa has evolved over time, you will see that men still play a very key role in subduing a lot of the dreams and aspirations of women. Now, a lot of people will be wondering, okay, you're a guy, you're talking about this, you're propagating this issue, but it is reality, it is the truth, and it is something that we need to pay more attention to, especially in this day and age when a lot of women are showing the good, showing and delivering the good, showing and standing up for themselves and making major impactful changes across the globe. Now, this is the Afrobeat cult. This year, we're doing something really, really, really very special, and we're teaming up. She's pretty ready now. I can see her from backstage. We're doing something really special this year, and what it is that we know that a lot of families around this time of the year are really not able to provide a lot of things for themselves. They're really not able to provide for their families, generally the children, and we are doing something, at least in the little way that we can, to support these families that exist. We have teamed up with a farm in Nigeria, and this is a relationship that we're hoping to grow and expand as time goes on. Now, this is it. It is with a group called Litfe Farms in Nigeria, and we're doing something of a giveaway this year around the Christmas period. And they have, I've worked with them before. I have supported some of the products that they have given. And one thing I do know about them is their delivery time. Now, they're offering to deliver a lot of all these products. So what we're giving away in collaboration with them is turkeys. They deal in livestock, especially, and they're based in Nigeria. We'll give you more information as time continues. But for today, we are going to be talking to our guest. Her name is Blessing Enakimio. Blessing, are you ready? Give me a thumbs up so that I can add you to the studio if you can hear me loud and clear. And she is there right now. So I'll just quickly open up her mic and her. So let's know if she's on. I'm going to put you on right now. Hold on. Here we go. Hello, Blessing. How are you doing?
Hi, good evening. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I am doing great. Are you ready to talk to us?
I think I am. Let's do it.
Okay. So I know that you have been pretty busy with all the projects that you're running right now that you're trying to get across, but I'd like to first of all thank you for making time to talk to us about this very, very important project that you're doing in Africa right now. Now,
Thank you.
you're no problem. I know. Let me just put it out there now. Blessing is not a stranger to me, and want to be as transparent and as open as possible on these issues. So Blessing is actually my sister-in-law. But she lives in the UK, and the reason why I decided, yeah, I don't blame you. And the reason why I decided that she is a person of interest for our show is because of the project that the push that she's currently on in Africa right now. Just as I had introduced you or introduced the stuff that you were doing earlier, we're talking about how you are expanding the reach of the possibilities, the opportunities. You're hoping to create a lot of opportunities for African women right now. Now, we will go deeper into it, but the first thing I would like for you to explain to our viewers, and not just right now on the live broadcast, which is on YouTube and Facebook, is to tell us exactly what these projects are about. I know there are several that you're engaged in. Give
Okay.
us a back.
Okay, so I'll start by saying, as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, as a sister, as a child, there's so many hats we have to wear as women. So the background essentially is during lockdown, I found myself having to homeschool my three kids, and I realized that if I wasn't educated, it would have meant that my kids' education would have been compromised. So the whole light came on when I thought about the future, that if there were mothers out there who didn't have the ability to read, to write, or to teach, what impact is that going to have on the next generation? So I had a couple of conversations with my links at my local university where I volunteer as an enterprise advisor. And we had a few conversations around what the impact might look like on academic education moving forward post COVID. So that kind of stemmed up a lot of things, a lot of questions that we didn't even know, and we couldn't even answer the ones that we knew of. That's what led me to where I am now. So in the space where I work in Africa, I do quite a lot in the energy space. So again, used to be oil and gas, but now energy. We realized that when you progress in your career in the energy space in Nigeria, there are not a lot of women at the top level. Say, for instance, in the boards, and a lot
Okay.
of women groups exist, and they all are complaining that there are not enough female representation. So I sat with a couple of them, and I realized that the problem is that it stems way back again to education,
Okay.
because to be, for instance, on the board of directors in some of the top organizations, you have to have an engineering background.
True.
And then you would find that most women in the sector are probably in the humanities, so HR, payroll, finances, and they haven't studied engineering. So when you get to the top, there's a glass ceiling because you haven't got a background in education.
Yeah.
So as far as I was concerned, I thought you can't change it from that level. We need to look at changing things from the grassroots. So again,
True.
it brought me right back to the same issues that flagged during COVID, which is back to education. How do we educate women? How do we empower women to then empower the next generation? So that's kind of the background.
Right now, you talk about Africa. You currently live in the UK. True.
Yes, I do.
Now, how do you gain trust? How do you gain the fact that okay, you live in the UK, it's just another person that comes from there to come and save us in Africa.
Mm,
Uh,
mm.
where's the credibility in that? How do you make us trust that you won't just come and throw around a few brilliant ideas and then hop on the next plane and leave when things are not working out the way you want it? Now, Africa's a different playground. So, how do you build confidence? How do you build trust? How do you uh, teach the women in Africa to trust that the ideas and the projects that you're bringing along will actually help them?
I think the first thing really is coming off that high horse of, oh, I'm from the world, therefore I've got something to offer that's better. There's so much ability, skill, expertise, experience already in Africa, either those who've come back from diaspora or those who have been, born and raised in Africa. There's so much potential. There is just so much. They are ready. They're just looking for the opportunity, so to speak. So I think it's not a case of me coming as someone who has the solution. I don't have the solution. All I've come with are both ears to listen and to hear. And the famous saying that you cannot solve a problem with the same consciousness to which the problem was created. So I haven't come in with solutions. I've just come with a different consciousness, so to speak, to say, okay, I'm listening to what you're saying. This is what you're saying. Can you hear what you're saying? What do you think the solutions are? So more of a handheld. You have the solutions. You can solve the problems. I'm just here to facilitate. I think that's my stance.
So basically, some kind of a partnership with those on the ground.
Yes, everything we do is really is people on ground doing it for people who are on ground. It's not me bringing in any magic powers at all.
So, which groups have you worked with, or do you have some company, some agency that you run personally? What's the platform? How you going about
Okay,
impacting the life?
I think that's a very important question. The key thing here to understand it is collaboration, because again, a famous African saying, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together." There's nothing you can achieve in Africa, from my experience, if it's all about collaboration. So I'm part of a very, very wide network called the Commonwealth Businesswomen Network, the Nigerian branch and the UK branch as well. Again, as the name suggests, it's from the Commonwealth. So it
Mm,
stems from the UK, but it spans across 54 countries. So that's a
okay.
very large organization with a large database, with some strong influences and strong women. So coming together with that group, I've been able to establish a very great stance in the energy sector in Nigeria. So that's one. Then from there as well came about, again, once I see questions I try to answer, or see problems I try to solve. So from there as well, I found that there were some little influences that a smaller organization could move quicker to achieve. So, in response to the issues I picked up in being within that network, I have myself and some other women as well have set up an organization in Nigeria which is called the Strategic Women and Youth Institute. So, essentially, it's just a consortium of professionals who are coming together to create economic empowerment.
Okay. Okay. So, what level of resistance have you met so far, or has it been
Oh,
smooth?
I want to say it's been smooth sailing, no problems. No, that would be a lie. um, the resistance has been from within. We are always our own worst enemies. But again, it's back to a limited mindset. So I would say the resistance, the issues that we have come across, or I have come across personally, has been mindset issues. So
Mm,
people who are very, very limited, who are problem focused, the glass half
yeah.
empty kind of people. And
Mm,
so it's been an issue. And again, thank goodness we've set up an institute. So we are addressing those issues again through education.
okay. Oh, what about the men?
What about the men?
Yes, that's what I should ask you. So here you are with a
Yes.
campaign to empower women, a
Yeah.
campaign to put more wealth in the hands of African women. Come on, you're telling me that the men, what part are they playing? You're talking about a partnership. Are they supporting, or is it the same old mindset?
I think there are two parts to it. There are people who would have issues with what I'm saying, but to be honest, I'm one who believes in there's enough for everyone. There's more than enough. The world is abundant. I don't think I need to rob Peter to pay Paul. I'm not going to take anything off any man to give to a woman. There's enough to do. So, in my opinion, we are equipping women to come together to demand excellence of themselves.
Okay.
We're not looking at it coming externally to say, let a man get up from the table for a woman to sit. That's not what I'm pushing for. I'm pushing for women to come together to build more tables and more chairs around the table. So I'm not looking to displace anybody. I don't think we need to displace anybody, because men have a vital role that they play, and so do women. So I think, if anything, it's a case of equipping men to be prepared to work with women who are coming to the table. So we're not looking to displace anybody. We're just making more room to get more done in Africa.
Okay, give me a bit some more specifics, right? I want to know about the when you say energy sector, what part of the energy sector? I mean, it's a really wide area. So could you tell me more about it? What are you? What,
Okay, so I'm part of an organization, Brevity Anderson, and I'm the director of events for Brevity Anderson. And we have the contract with the federal government of Nigeria to run the annual Energy Summit, so the Nigeria International Energy Summit, which runs once a year, and the next one, the fifth edition, is coming up from the 27th of February to the 3rd of March. Now,
mm,
within that summit, it's always been a male-dominated, as you can imagine, event. So 90% of the speakers are usually men, men who've been in the sector for years, older men as well, I must add. But this year, with my involvement with CBW in Nigeria, we've changed the landscape. We had at least a decent 30%, if not 40%, of the speakers as professional women, women from around the world within the sector who were able to bring in to speak on matters around the transition. The energy transition that we're doing in Nigeria, the whole moving towards a gas powered economy. There are lots of women in the sector. So we were able to find them from around the world through the network and bring them in to speak. We
okay.
also were able to run a full day workshop for women in energy, looking at the female approach to the future of hydrocarbons. And it was very interesting to listen to these women, intelligent women. They knew their stuff in technology, in petroleum, in gas, in change management, talking about how we can move together as a nation in Nigeria towards a gas powered economy. And altogether, at the end of that workshop was a roadmap that was created that has been submitted to the ministry. So that's just an example.
Okay, let's look at location,
Mhm.
location, location. Which countries are within your scope? I know you in an earlier discussion you had talked about Nigeria. Which
Mhm.
other countries are within your scope? What are you planning?
I think Nigeria and all the surrounding countries where you've got Ghana,
Mm,
we've got some stuff in Zambia, a little bit in Zimbabwe, Congo, Rwanda, and then Egypt as well. I know there's a debate whether Egypt is Africa or if it's Arab. It depends on which side of the coin you're on. But Egypt is as well as another country where I've got quite a strong influence in. Again, part of a larger network, which is the Arab Women's Investment Union. So there's quite a lot going on there, and there are women championing women. The whole event was led by women. All the exhibitions were of companies who were headed by women. It was so impressive to see what women are doing out there in the world.
So, is there anything significant about the challenges, the when you're comparing the countries, right? Is there anything significant? Is there something different about these countries, Nigeria, Egypt, and the women, the challenges that the women are facing in all these places, or is it just one size fits all?
No, I think personally I observed certain differences. In Egypt, for instance, they've got the government's backing. There's a very strong pro-women campaign,
Egypt.
and they have, yeah, yes, they have very strong universities that have funding for female programs, female-led programs. A lot of them have their doctorates fully funded, and I think there were more doctors in the room, PhD holders, than there were not. Again, a lot of them, their companies have been financially backed by the government, so they've got the government support.
Mm,
Now, take it over to Nigeria. From my experience, when you go to present yourself for a bid or for a contract, they would often suggest you put a man forward.
okay.
They might say it's a man's world. Maybe make sure there's a man on your board. Make sure you have a rep who is a man to go forward for you. So yes, a lot of organizations are recognizing that women can and are willing to, but I think again there's a cultural bias that there should be a man in the room
Okay.
in Nigeria, and I think it's changing, but there's still a lot of work to be done.
Okay. We're still comparing the other African countries. We've talked about Egypt. What is different between Nigeria and Ghana, for instance? What's the plight of the woman in Ghana, for instance? Why would that be an interest to you?
Again, with a country like Ghana, they've made significant improvements over the years, and there's a lot of shift towards, shall I say, technology in the country. So I would say, for me personally, it would be again to open up the conversations to create more experiences for women cross border.
Mm,
For me as a person, to learn new cultures, new ways of doing things that is different from what I know, but also for the women that I'm with, or leading, or being led alongside, to realize that there are different ways to achieve the same goal, and
mm.
again to broaden our horizons as women. I think
Okay.
it's good to interact with people from other countries.
Okay. Your background. What is
Mhm.
your background? I know.
Oh,
Yes. What is your
okay.
background? How did you? What
Okay,
is it?
so my background, I would say I'm an educationalist by profession. I'm an educationalist. So that quickly stemmed on from academic teaching to workplace learning. So I transitioned into workplace learning, and from workplace learning, I moved on into adult learning, adult education, which then led into conferences and education, and then into business. So I've had a variety of shall I say, jobs, opportunities
Yeah.
across these platforms. So for me, I would say yes, being a teacher, being a lecturer, being a businesswoman, being a business owner, being an entrepreneur, being a
Mm,
director, they all come together to make me who I am. So my background, again, I would say is education, and I stick to it because I'm very keen on learning. I'm a professional learner myself.
mm.
Um, is what drives me, as opposed to push for excellence from myself and from others that I work with.
Yeah. So now, blessing,
Mhm.
Africa, huge, immense challenge for anybody. Why didn't you just, you live in the UK, it's an
Mhm.
easier thing for you to just, work and do. Why did you decide to go and take on? Look, even I talk about it. I tell a lot of Africans, say, look, before I even step in that direction, I'll have to think about it over and over and over again. Why do you decide to pick on Africa? That's a huge undertaking.
Okay, I'm doing what I can where I am here in the UK. I'm doing quite a fair bit of business and volunteering as well here in the UK with my local universities, my local colleges, and local organizations. So I'm doing that already. However, we're all we're all taught the same thing, isn't it? Don't forget where you came from. You
Yeah.
know,
Okay.
you cannot forget where you came from. No matter what, no matter who you are, where you get to, our upbringing is that you must never forget the hand that fed you. So at some point or the other, we all look back to see where did we come from and what can we offer. So I think for me, I always wanted an opportunity in Africa. And
Mm,
right from the start, my intention was, if I'm going to go in, I'm going to go in from the top. So
okay.
I always had my eye on the oil and gas sector. Um, and an opportunity came up for me to come in, and I took the opportunity, and I never looked back.
Okay. So we'll dig into the oil and gas sector in a little bit, right? Let's break it down into. I mean, you're very good. You know everything. Basically, you're a businesswoman. You know most things about retail marketing, right? You know the itty teeny tiny little bits of it. So how does, for somebody who doesn't understand so much, how does the average woman on the streets, besides the highly educated ones, how does the average woman on the street, how does she benefit from the stuff that you're doing in Africa right now?
Okay, that's a good question. With SWI, the way we've set it up, that Strategic Women and Youth Institute, we have set up programs that range from free Zoom sessions, free one-to-one sessions, free hands-on training, all the way to doctorate degrees at an international university. So we've got a varied range of offers and support available, be it free, be it complimentary, be it sponsored, or be it paid for. So there's someone on our board who you can identify with, because we've got a spectrum of women. We've got high level market traders, we've got women who own energy companies, we've got women who manufacture furniture, we've got someone on the board who runs a cleaning company. So we've
Yeah.
made sure we've mixed it up a bit so that we're
Yeah.
not just targeting a certain type of African woman. So I think
Okay.
we've as women, we've kind of come together to say, okay, if it's a consortium of women, let it be open for all. So I think we've got something for everyone.
Okay. So back to the energy sector now, right? In a period in the whole world when people are talking about fossil fuel, and look at the price of gas today, right?
Mhm.
And we're talking about clean energy. How does that factor into the work that you're doing right now?
Okay. Like I said, it used to be called oil and gas. Now it's called energy. So again, that clear definition of name has happened, where we've changed from being energy, from being oil and gas to being energy. So thinking about it on a broader scale,
Mm.
fossil fuels, I think in Nigeria is not going away anytime soon. We have to be politically correct and
Okay.
refer to it as the energy sector, as we are, and everyone is rebranding to do that. That's
Mm.
fine. However, um, there's no way that Africa is ready to go green tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And I think we have to be honest with ourselves and
Mm.
accord ourselves the time we need to make the transition. So, for instance, in Nigeria, the mandate is for us to get to a gas powered economy by 2030.
Okay.
So it could be here in England, we're not even talking about gas anymore. We're on electricity and electric cars and all of that.
Mm.
Nigeria is nowhere near that. So we need to bear in mind that everyone is on the same journey, but we are different places because we started at different times. So I
Okay.
think the conversations around fossil fuels might not be headline, but it doesn't mean that the conversations are not still ongoing.
Okay. So where's the next big step for you? You've done Nigeria, you've done Egypt, you've where else? What's the next big plan? 20, 2022, 2021 is basically done,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
What is what are we doing?
I think I've done a fair bit of events here in the UK that highlights or showcases Nigeria. I still want to be able to showcase Nigeria to the world. So I still
Hmm.
want to present Nigeria as a good place of investment. I want to bring investors from around the world into Nigeria. So for 2022 is the contacts I have made in Egypt, in UK or anywhere else that depending on wherever I have met them, I've invited them in to come into Nigeria. Now I've presented to Nigeria to them. I want them to actually come. I want to host them in Nigeria for them to experience Nigeria themselves and then bring their investments into Nigeria. So that's my target
But
really for
mostly
next
more investment in Nigeria, I guess, right?
into Nigeria. Yeah. So be it Nigerians in diaspora or other Africans who might be
Mm.
around the world, or even non-Nigerians or non-Africans, it's to promote Nigeria as a decent place
Okay.
to invest. I think that's
Okay.
that's
What
my
about
target for
feedback?
next year.
What kind of feedback are you getting right now from based on all the work that you've done? What's the response right now?
The major feedback I would say that has been the highlight of my year is I overheard a conversation in the lobby after a presentation I made of a lady who was talking to her peers, and she was saying she she has seen Nigeria in a different light, and now she wants to visit Nigeria. So I smiled. So for me, that was a very good feedback. And another investor as well, who is from Jordan,
Yeah.
who said he's sold, definitely coming to Nigeria, early part of next year. So for me, that's feedback that I'm getting with the work I'm doing, and I'm happy to be an ambassador for Nigeria, even though self-appointed, to promote my motherland as a good place for international trade and investment.
Let's just hold on. I got a comment here from one of our viewers who says, Ehi, you hear that? Fossil fuel isn't going anywhere soon. That is a source of worry for a lot of people. Is that something that you want to take away with you today? Are you confident that that's something that you want to talk about, or is there hope?
It's let's put it this way: it's a fact.
Okay.
We can't switch it
Yeah.
off and turn on electricity tomorrow. We can't. It's just a fact. But I'll be politically correct and say we are pro energy, and that's what we're doing, going for greener fuels.
Yeah. Mm. Okay, so we're talking about the feedback and all that. Now, um, what impact? What are you doing in the UK right now? Exactly. Could you spell it out? What are you doing in the UK right now? What steps are you taking in the UK to get more people involved? You said you want to take more investors into Nigeria. How? What steps are you taking to do that? I mean, a lot of people. Nigeria is one country where people don't really trust that they will get their money's worth. It's like with all the stuff about corruption, with all the stuff about governance, with all the stuff about the what are you doing? What steps are you taking to make sure that the 2022 dream that you have online will come through?
Okay, so what I'm doing is working with the governing bodies in Nigeria. So, for instance, NIPC, to bring them, as well as the Minister for Investment as well, to bring them to the UK. They were here probably this year or last year as well. We had an event out here, UK Nigeria Investment Show. We've had UK Africa FinTech Show. We've had a few shows, but I'd like to do it again next year, probably around October, around Nigeria's independence month, to
Yeah.
bring Nigerian government, the investment government out here, and some pre-approved investment opportunities that have been vetted and approved out
Mm,
here, so that the aspirants can come together, meet with them, have conversations around them, also bring the Bank of Industry out where possible, to look at what are the requirements for investing in Nigeria, what are the securities in place, and how to get your money's worth, I suppose,
yeah.
from your investment. So that's kind of what I'm planning, is to almost like take Nigeria on a roadshow with a hand picked selection of organizations or companies that I know that are viable for investment, really.
So are you only focusing on energy? Is there are there other
No,
areas?
oh no, 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 not necessarily.
That's no.
For instance, I've got a client, Urban Shelter Nigeria Limited, which is a very, 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 very large realtor in Nigeria. So I took them with me to Egypt, which was very good. So again, I'm thinking about bringing them out to the UK to perhaps do a tour of the UK as well. It's a viable option to invest in real estate in Nigeria, and they provide multi-use properties. So that's an example of a client that I'd like to bring out, and as well as others as well that I've got in the
Mm.
pipeline.
What about agriculture?
That's a very good question. We were looking at doing something this part of the year, but it didn't happen again because of change in government as well in Nigeria, in the Ministry of Agriculture. That's something in the pipeline. There's a lot of growth in Nigeria, and Nigeria on its own has, as a government, they have a big mandate around agri, and it's something I'd like to tap into. So I think watch this space. We might have a large international agro show coming up next year in Nigeria,
You heard it here
if that's
first.
the plan.
You heard it here
Mhm,
first. Okay, so we started out with the issue of education. You
mhm,
talked about education. One, information. How do you get all this? Because this is packed
mm.
information. How do you get all this information out there? How do you get the local woman in Africa? How do you get her to know all these things? What is your what platforms are you using? How do you do that?
I would like to say the internet, but you and I know that
Access.
that might be the case in the Western world, but not necessarily in Nigeria. So
Mm,
again, it's through forums,
okay.
through being busy in a lot of women forums. There are so many forums, and there are so many women. But once you plug into the right sort of networks, information can disseminate very quickly. So I have found that word of mouth is the best way to reach women in Nigeria, and we are using it quite effectively.
Okay, so just one big thing that I need to say right now is that so right now you are watching us on YouTube, you're watching us on Facebook, and one thing that I do want you to do, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so ASAP. You'll be getting loads and loads of more information about very very vitally important things, just as the one that we have right now talking to Blessing right now. Now, she has been doing quite a lot of groundwork before this, and I would like to know about the groundwork that you, because a lot of people will look at you and say, okay, wow, she just boom, all of a sudden she woke up one morning and there she is right out there. What was the as an example for other women who would like, you know, to do stuff like this to make impactful change in the lives of other women? What was the groundwork that you did to get to where you are right now?
First thing first, my mind. I
Okay.
had to work on my mind. Who am I? My
Yeah.
identity. What do I believe and what do I stand for? So first thing was my mindset.
Mm.
The next thing I suppose is my intention. What is my intention? And my intentions could be segment the next 5 minutes. My
Yeah.
having this conversation with you. What's my intention? It could be the next 1 year. It could be in this career. It could be in that job, in this business. I'm setting this up. What do I want to do? Why am I doing it? What does success look like for me? So these are questions I often ask myself. So that's the first thing I would say for any woman who's looking to do things in any capacity that supposedly look bigger than her.
Yeah.
I would say work on your mind first. And then the second thing is, what are you willing to give for what you want? When I started out, I was willing to give of myself free services just to get in. If there was
Yeah.
a door open, I was happy to go in, not thinking about what I was going to get, but what I was going to give. So it was
Yeah.
a case of, I've got something to offer, I'm going to give it. And I kept giving until such a time as someone recognized what I was giving and said, hang on, you're worth something. Come along with me. So I would say be prepared to have um 10% of 100 instead of having 100% of one.
Yeah.
Be prepared to join an organization, join a body, join something that's bigger than you, than just trying to go on your own. That's probably what I would say in a nutshell.
Okay. So, Blessing, big thank
Yes.
you for being a part of this conversation. Are there other fantastic words that you would like to, drop right here for the future of
I,
women, African women to
I would
gen-
say whatever you do, make sure you enjoy doing it. You only live once. You might as well live well.
Major golden nugget right there, Blessing and Enakimio. And thank you very much for your time today. And we will keep checking on you and finding out and following all the stuff that you're doing. And we'll keep posting all of that as much as we can, as much as you keep doing all the great things that you're doing. So, very, very big thank you to you for all the great work that you're doing to help the African woman out right now. So, thank you.
Thank you
And
for having me. Thank
no
you.
worries. We'll talk again quite soon. All right.
All right
Bye.
then. Speak soon. Bye bye.
So this is it. This is the Afrobeat cult, and you just heard a direct from Blessing and Akimia right there. So much amazing work. So if you do want to get in touch with her, you can find her. She goes by her name actually, so you can find her on LinkedIn. You can find her on Facebook. You can find her on IG, of course. And you can also get in touch with us to find out what great new projects she's working on. So she will be doing quite a lot for Africa, for Nigeria, come 2022. And on that note, I'd like to say a big thank you to you for being a part of today's show. Now, remember, all you need to do is make sure that you go and hit that subscribe button, share this video, let the whole world know exactly what we're on about. And until next time, thank you for being a part of it. And I will talk to you guys real soon. Bye.